welcome to Juju. And hi, Vineet, how are you?
Good.
So, Vineet, I have a question. This time it's my question.
Oh,
Okay. So, the question is so you have a mind stone allowance, and you keep talking about that we need to allow.
mm,
So, sometimes what happens is that with this allowance, if I keep allowing everything,
mm.
won't I suffer? I can't let everything happen, right? So, what does it mean when we keep talking about allow it?
Suffering is a choice
Mm,
which is in your hand.
mm.
Suffering is not if I allow myself to suffer. So, who's made the choice of that?
Nobody wants to suffer. I don't want to
Exactly. So
suffer.
it's a choice, and unknowingly we are suffering.
Mm,
So there are so many cases I receive where people are suffering without any reason. In your domain, if I you will say that this is the reason to suffer. Oh, this is something very trivial. But
mm,
that suffering is for that person is such a big thing,
mm.
right? So you and I might suffer for any different reasons, and it is
Wait, how?
purely your own choice.
Yeah.
So allowance is all about understanding of your own self,
Mm,
right? From where I am coming from. So we don't allow ourselves to be. When I say, if you don't allow yourself to be, you will not experience life. You will not experience life the way it is.
mm,
So there is certain expectation you are having that the life should happen the way I want. Of course, that will happen. But first, you need to prepare yourself for that. If I am not prepared, if I go and I'm not a trained soldier, right? And if I ask you to go and start, uh, you know, go and participate in any kind of a war which is happening out there,
mm.
will you be a successful soldier? No, you will die in your first encounter. So it is something you need to prepare yourself for. And when I talk about allowance, allowing yourself to be is the beginning of it, right? First you we have the other milestones also before that. So first there are different stages. So when we say one of the milestone is what's my excuse, right? That's one of the milestone.
Yeah,
No.
that's one. Yeah. So
So
we have a separate discussion on this.
that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So one of the milestone is what's my excuse. So where is it coming from? So these excuses keep coming to us,
Mm,
isn't it? And when these conditioning of us get dissolved, I would say, and when we allow ourselves to overcome those, then only you get to the next level.
mm,
What I'm talking about. So if I stay stuck
mm,
in my belief system, if in my conditioned mind,
mm.
then I will not. So you need to start that allowance. And allowance cannot be, suffering is always a choice. If I'm suffering because of any reason, so that's my choice if I'm suffering.
I want to know this. Like, how can suffering be a choice?
Suffering is because suffering will only happen when you are not empowered, isn't it? Suffering is obviously your own choice whether I want to be in a state of happiness or I want to be in state of suffering. That's my choice. If I'm not empowered, I'll suffer for anything. If I don't have some luxury of life which is not my need,
Mm,
what's my minimum basic need?
mm,
I'm not going there, that you should leave everything or you should not have luxuries. Please, not. I'm just stating an example. So if I'm not having certain thing, I'm comparing myself with somebody that I have this maybe a car which is fulfilling my need of traveling from one place to other. And if I don't have that luxurious car and I compare myself with someone and I suffer. So whose choice is that?
So basically, जब हम significance अपने lack पर देते हैं, we suffer.
Exactly. So suffering is always your choice because you're not empowered yourself.
Mm,
You've not made yourself capable enough. You are like any untrained soldier going for a war. You've not allowed yourself uh, to be, to accept the life the way it is. You just expecting the life to happen the way I want, but it will not happen till you empower yourself. It will happen. Definitely, it will
How do
happen.
we empower ourselves?
How do you empower yourself? So you know that. You
No.
know that. You need to practice it. You need to be aware of it. You need to be conscious about it. And there are certain practices we have for that.
So
So
bring
one of the
again awareness.
practices is starting with your breathing techniques. That's the initial one. Then getting into the meditations, sitting with yourself, and then you get into that awareness. And once you get into the awareness, the allowance will happen. Your conditioning will get break. You will have more compassion, and so on. So this is a journey. So that's how you empower. If you stay in a stuck zone, you don't allow yourself to be, then obviously you'll suffer. I hope I have answered that. If you still have any query, I'm happy to elaborate more.
No, I understand this. So basically, suffering can sometimes be a choice, and sometimes be a choice. Sometimes it is there, suffering is there. At the same time, if we feed the stronger wolf, what they call it, if we feed uh, the lack that we have in our life, it'll become stronger, and the blessings and the gratitude that the life deserves, we stop giving that. We in a way attract more suffering in our life.
Yeah, so suffering will, it's what you're talking about, what you refer to, that suffering sometimes is a choice and sometimes it is not. That's what you said, I believe. So it is,
Sometimes suffering is there, but at the same time, when suffering is there and we keep focusing on that suffering and
yes.
not
So it
the
will,
blessings.
yes. So it will expand.
Yeah.
So whatever you'll focus on will expand.
Yes.
And, it is all about awareness as well.
Mm.
I'm suffering, I'm not aware that I'm suffering. Sometimes this also happens.
Mm. And I'm blessed, I'm not aware.
Yes.
That also happens. That
So,
happens most of the time, probably.
so it is a process,
Mm.
it is a journey. That's why they say life is a journey.
Mm.
So you have to enjoy that moment of it and the challenges of it. You start enjoying that, suffering will become a choice for you. And then you have to allow yourself to let those challenges come, because now I'm prepared, I'm empowered.
Mm.
तभी वो जोश कहते हैं ना, वो हाउस द जोश
Mm.
high, because you're prepared, you're there. So then anything comes up your way, you will be ready
You
for it.
become that rock,
Exactly.
the big rock. So thank you once again, Vineet. And that's how we end our another episode. Looking forward to another very interesting episode once again with Vineet. We'll be talking about the mind stones in the next episode. So stay in touch with us. Thank you.